Over to you, Steve.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So this is membership and finance. Let's get started. Okay, so the different types of membership schemes we offer in GMS. There's the anniversary scheme, which is it will run for a year and renew on a set date, or however you set up the scheme. We've got a join date, which again runs for a year, but this renews or comes up for renewal on the date that the person joins. If they joined on the 1st of August, 1 year, it will be up for renewal on the 1st of August the following year. And then we have a monthly subscription membership. So you can think of that like a gym membership, if you like, which is a rolling 1 month membership and takes a payment every month until it is cancelled. For the membership schemes, you can have rules to them. So you can give family discounts, cap fees. For example, if you've got a family membership, you can cap the fees at a certain price so they don't pay over that amount. Discounts for different membership types and roles. For example, you could have a discount for a player, or discount for a coach membership, or any other roles you can assign at your club. And then age restrictions, so you can restrict which memberships come up for sale when an individual logs into GMS. For example, you could set the rule must be over 18 or must be under 18 for child memberships. For payments, we offer different payment options. You can have the option to pay the membership in full up front. You can choose to allow installments, and you can choose how many installments you'd like it to be paid over. I know a lot of clubs like to uh, put it in 6 installments, for example, to prevent people leaving after the season's finished. And on the membership schemes, you get a full price history when you're creating them and adding the prices. The last bit here on this one, you don't have to sign up to payments or the website to be able to use memberships. You can use it as an admin only function where admin users can create membership schemes and assign them to individuals. You get the option to put them through as a cash payment, so you don't have to sign up to our payments. So under the finance, so no simple setup, no length of contract, and no merchant accounts set up. That's all taken care of once you sign up to the payment. The settlements are bi-weekly, bi-monthly, I think that should be. Credit cards and direct debits, and the transaction fee is 1.95%. There is transactions under £10 incur an additional 10p charge for credit card payments. So this is the finance dashboard in GMS. As you can see at the top here, it shows you all the orders and the outstanding amount of those orders. And payments fail, you get a collection of failures. Stats, these can be drilled through on. So it shows you all the payments that have failed, all direct debit payments that have failed, and you can action them from there. Whether it's rescheduling or marking them as do not collect, or you can mark them to be paid off by other means. And the same for credit cards. You can drill through on this stat and it'll show you all the payments that have failed. You get your direct debit settlements and your credit card settlement figures. Again, these can be drilled through on, and it breaks it down into the individual transactions that will be included in the settlement for that month. And at the bottom here, you just get a summary of all your transactions by month as the different payment method types. So on the membership screen, or the membership scheme grid, this gives you an overview of all your active memberships at the club. It shows active only by default. It gives you the name, the price of them, when that price is from, and the type, the category and type of each membership. So this is the membership setup screen. So you can see here, this is the type of scheme you're creating. As I mentioned earlier, anniversary, join date, or monthly subscription. You can add types and categories to them for reporting purposes. You can choose when the scheme starts, and you can choose if the scheme is available for online purchase, i.e. for public users to be able to log into GMS and buy the scheme, or if you set that to no, it can be ones that admin only users see and can work with. You can choose the status on purchase. So if you have things like NHS schemes or student schemes, you can set that to awaiting approval. And then once you've confirmed that the person has got the correct ID and is qualifies for the scheme, you can manually update that to active. Can configure the duration, and you can also add a joining fee, which I'm not sure many clubs do. So the price is down here. So every time, like I said, keep a price history. Every time you add a new price to it, it'll add an end date to the current price, and then it'll put each price in a different row in there so you can keep your price history. So the schemes display on our websites, on the free websites we provide. This is created also under the finance tile on the website setup. So this is an example website where all the schemes display. This is a public facing page, so anyone can see this, but when they click purchase, they'll be taken to the GMS login screen where they can log in and continue to purchase the membership that they require. This is a view of the mobile purchase flow. So this is your individual account here, where you can see you've got the club and the buy membership button. Once you select the buy membership, it will take you through, and the individual will be shown the memberships that they qualify for, depending on the rules that you set against the schemes. They can add those to the basket. Then you get to the basket screen. They can agree to the waivers and then hit checkout to go to the checkout screen. And again, depending on how you've set up the membership, they'll get the different payment options, whether they want to pay in full, whether they want to pay installments. So on the settlements, so this is the settlements grid. As you see, you get a settlement for each payment method type, the direct debits and card payments. You can drill through on these. It will show you all the transactions that are included in that settlement. You can export and filter that data as you require. And this is just an example of an export from that settlement grid. Again, it gives you all the details. It gives you the product that was in the order, category, the price, the payment reference, the payment status, and when it was purchased, and the payment method. So once people have purchased their memberships, you have the membership dashboard. This gives you a breakdown of all the current records at your club, the different memberships that they have. As you see, you've got all the membership types here, and then it will tell you how many you've got in each of these status at the top. It will tell you if there's outstanding balance for this and how much money you've actually taken. Again, all these stats can be drilled through on to give you a breakdown of the actual transactions and the individuals that have got the memberships. And over here, it shows you that you can break it down by different status of the membership. This is the membership list. So this is a grid that contains all your membership records for the club. You can use the filters to filter on status, so even memberships that are lapsed or inactive, you can change the filters to view them. It is every record. You can drill through on this membership scheme column, and it will give you the details of that individual membership for that person that you click through on. Okay, so that was the finance and memberships bit. You want to do that poll, Ian?
Yes, I do. So we've got a little poll for you guys, and it's just around multiple bank accounts. So just launching that poll for you now. You should see that pop up onto your screen. So how many of you currently utilize multiple bank accounts for the running of your club? Yes, no, or not sure. Hopefully, most know who are on this call, but options there. So they're coming in now. Lovely. We're almost there in terms of completion. Excellent, 100%. I'm just going to save that. There we go. Excellent. And the poll there. And I will share the results now so you can see them. And you can see there, 62% of you do use multiple bank accounts. 30% of you are no, and there's a couple of you who are not sure. So thanks for sharing that with us, guys. We've got some good news for you for those that do have multiple bank accounts. Cheers, Steve.
Yeah, that is good news. So part of our latest update to GMS is allowing clubs to use more than one bank account to receive their settlements. So how this works is you add your bank accounts in the normal way, so through the bank details grid under finance, and you'll see there's a couple of different new columns here. So you've got an account type column. So when you create an account, you'll be asked to give it an account type, and then an account name as well. Yeah. So, and that's how you link them. I'll show you in a minute how you link them to the different products. So you also be able to create budget codes. When you create a budget code, you'll see on the screen here. So this is the screen for creating a new budget code. You'll be asked to assign an account type. So that comes from the previous screen where you give your bank account a type, and any products linked to that budget code will then be paid to the account it's linked to. So you can also, there's another way you can do it. You can also do it by product categories. So you can create a new product category. And again, once you've created that product category, you can assign the budget code, which was previously linked to the bank account, and any money that is taken for products that fall under that product category will go to that assigned bank account. And then in membership schemes, so that's the membership schemes setup screen. For this one, all memberships have a product category of membership. So this one uses the budget codes. So again, you can see these test ones here that we set up. And the money taken for this membership will be assigned to the bank that is linked to the budget code you assigned to the membership. When you do a settlement, if you've got more than one bank account and you've set that all up on the membership grid, on the settlement grid, sorry, we've added the account name. So you'll get a settlement for each payment method type to each bank account. So if you currently have one bank account and you get one direct debit and one credit card, but you create two bank accounts, you'll get one credit card and one direct debit settlement for each bank account. And the account name will be listed in the settlements grid when that comes through. Again, On the export for settlements, the account name is in there, so it gives you a breakdown of the transactions, what the product is, and which account that will be going to. And that was a brief overview of it.
Excellent. Thanks. Thank you, Steve. We've got a chance for some questions now, so Q&A. So your chance to ask questions to the experts, and there's a number of them on the call this evening. So if you have a question, do feel free to type in the chat and we can pull it out, or I'm comfortable if anyone wants to come off mic and ask a question, we can do that also. Excellent. So Jacob has just everyone's got some chats coming in. Any questions at all? I know a number of questions have been answered in the chat already. Here,
I'll ask a question if nobody else will.
there we go. Go on, Jacob, please do.
So I had a question earlier about what type of whether members need to purchase each year or whether the membership will roll over. And the answer came back that if it's a monthly subscription. Does that also apply if I want to do, say, 6 months of payments like Steve suggested, just in terms of sorting out the club cash flow? Would that need, if I did it as 6 installments for the monthly payments, would that roll over and do another 6 months next year on the new pricing that I'd configured, or would they need to purchase again?
No, that would be on an anniversary scheme, right, or a join date. That means they'd have to purchase again. It's only the monthly subscription one that rolls on continuously until cancelled.
Okay.
Hello. Just to back up on that. So if I've got a scheme that's running on monthly direct debits for, say, 10 direct debits, it isn't possible to kind of set up the system so it just keeps on rolling over. You know, if we change the membership fees each year, it's like a variable direct debit and it'll keep going until they cancel it, you know, like paying for my car rescue or whatever. Will it work like that?
No, it's an anniversary scheme where you set up installments, yeah.
So that means that every year they've got to come back and reset up their or re-go by direct debit.
Yeah.
If you're looking to set up installments that way, then yes. But if you have it on a monthly subscription whereby it continues to run throughout for the whole year, then that would just continue running year on year. So it will take payment every single month. But if you were looking to installment base, then yes, you would need to do it yearly.
So sorry, I'm just not quite clear. So if I did set it up as a direct 12 payment direct debit, it would keep rolling over every year.
It would keep rolling month by month until you or the member requested it to stop. So it could be for 5 years, it could be 5 years, 3 months, however long until it's. And
at the end of kind of period one, at the end of the 12 months, could that if the membership fee had changed, we could change that and it would automatically charge the higher amount?
Yeah, they would get a email communication because you'd be changing their direct debit amount. So they would get confirmation of that, and they'd obviously have the right to cancel that if they wanted. But yes, it would update that, and then if they would go on to the new price from when you stated, the new price would be instated.
Wow, that would be good.
Just to be clear, that is the monthly subscription one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just ask a question? Just to clarify about exactly what you just said there. So mine's on exactly what you said. Mine's on the rolling month. It just goes on forever. And then we've just had a thing where we want to increase our subscriptions. So I just go literally into the scheme, change the figure, save it, and then it will start doing it.
You just need to select the date you want to do it from. Now, obviously, you need 6 days to update, at least 6 days to let someone know about the direct debit changing. So you would, maybe want to give them sort of a couple of weeks notice. So it's going to be from the start of next month, but yes, you can do that.
Yeah, it was agreed at the AGM, so that's all sort of done, that sort of bit of it. It's just a matter of me, actually. So I just literally need to go into the schemes and add...
Change the price.
Say, for instance, £12.50. Instead of £10, it's £12.50, something like that, yeah?
Yeah. I would do it as adding a new price rather than editing the current.
Would you add a new one, yeah? Not...
Yeah. So you got your current price, you put an end date on that price, and then you add another one from when you want to start.
Okay, right, got it. That's perfect.
Thanks, Bill.
Cheers.
And thanks for answering those questions, guys. There's a couple more. If anyone got any more questions here, I don't know if there's anyone from FSI just wants to just explain around emails at the moment. Dan or Rory, if you're on.
I am on. Yeah, there's a Microsoft known Microsoft issue that they supposedly in the last update they said they're fixed, but as far as we can see, it's not fully fixed. And it's to do with some spam software somewhere down the chain on anyone sending through Microsoft Exchange servers. So we've been monitoring it. We've been monitoring their updates. It had started, I think it was mid-Feb. And at the moment, as far as we're concerned, I don't think they've got it fully fixed. So we are chasing our current providers, our data center providers, to see if we can get a direct contact with Microsoft to actually say this isn't fixed. But it is a known problem. I've seen the same problem with the NHS. They've published a similar article explaining the problem. Our concern is obviously if it doesn't get sorted soon, we'll be running into start of season, and we'll have to look at other options other than the current way of sending out emails from GMS, because it will get increasingly a concern. So it is, unfortunately, it's outside of GMS, but we are chasing it as much as we can.
Nice one. Thanks for clarifying that, Rory, for everyone. Another membership question then from Jacob. How do you attribute the payment/combination for a family membership config?
Yeah, so think about like two playing members, for example, which is our normal configuration, or we haven't got many, 3 or 4 like that. So it could be 2 senior playing members. Obviously, we have a family subscription for people who are living together, and there's a reduced price for the couple. How does that work in the system? I've seen that it can be configured, but I couldn't wrap my head around how that would be identified and how the members would be linked, and then how the payment would be attributed. I got to get a bit confused about that.
Okay, so you could do this with the rules applied against the membership schemes. I think, as I mentioned earlier, there's a family cap in one, which involves adult. Or if it's just 2 players, just 2 adults, there are discount rules or membership rules where you can give discounts on the same category and type of membership.
So I put a discount in and then maybe set that type of membership to approval first.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, they'll still be able to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just
So if
kind
I
of
set,
approve it later on, but you can. It's a way of reviewing it.
so for example, if I set, just for the sake of argument, if I said membership was 200 quid for a player, and for family membership it was 300 for 2 players, I could basically do it so that I give a 50 quid discount to a player, put an approval on it if they choose the family membership, and make that family membership have the reduction and share the reduction between the 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Excellent. Any more questions around membership schemes? Any burning questions around understanding that, or the recent change that Steve described? Any other questions around finance and memberships or anything you've seen tonight?
And Steve, thank you for that. Could I just ask that you go back to the presentation and show the link to the club website where GMS subscriptions can be linked to a club website?
Yeah, 1 second.
Thank you.
just whilst we're loading up there, we are looking before the start of the season around a webinar around websites that links off the back of this. So just as an FYI.
Was that screen?
I think it was the one before. So whereabouts in GMS you can. There we go.
Oh,
Website
creative
set up.
website.
Fine.
Okay. Yes, under finance.
Thank you.
No
And
problem.
just so you're aware, that is creating a club website. It creates in about takes about 5 minutes and spins up all the data from GMS into a website. So it's not just creating a membership page that you can call from your another website, but it is spinning up a whole club website with all the content in it.
So just to make that, so you're saying that sets up, it doesn't just link to your own website that you've already got. It's a brand new website.
Yeah, it will spin up a site under an rfu.club domain. So
yeah.
and then that site will be there with fixtures, results, and contacts and memberships and events. I've seen some clubs that have then themed that website so it looks similar to their existing, and then just link directly to pages that they wanted to. So maybe fixtures and results, or maybe memberships. So it's not pulling just a page through for that you then integrate in your site in some sort of iframe or anything else.
Okay, so how would you ever get back into, like obviously we're on Pachiro, you can become an admin, you can get in and do all your other stuff on it. How would you then get into this website and it's going to set up to be able to do all around and do backup stuff to
you
it?
get a role in GMS for a website admin role, and then you can log directly into the content management system behind the websites.
And can I give myself that role, as in if I'm level 5 straight away already?
You can give yourself that role and spin up those sites, and then you can log in with your GMS account straight into the content management system behind the websites.
Okay, perfect. Can I just ask one more question that's not relating to that? Is one of the things that I do find is obviously when people cancel their direct debits, which is quite on a regular occurrence, or they don't pay, is I find it very hard to try to you can send the email to verify for them to ask them for the cash. A lot of them dismiss that. Or if they've left the club and they've cancelled a direct debit and I'm not quite sure that they've left the club and I find out. When I go to delete them, it sometimes leaves them still in the system, even though I've deleted them and I want the actual whole account to be deleted if they've been deleted off the GMS, of my GMS. I know they're still on probably yours, but how would I then, and also sometimes it doesn't give me the option to archive the thing. It only gives me an option to either cancel or sometimes do nothing with it. I can't actually even change the. I know what you know what I'm talking about. It's quite hard to explain.
Are you still removed from club?
Yeah, so remove from club. Or I've got someone that's already on the club, and I wanted to remove their membership because obviously they're not.
So
I want to change their membership. Say, for instance, I've got someone that's on an adult membership. All of a sudden, they've stopped playing. I still want them on the GMS in case they ever want to play again or they want to do something else. But they've cancelled their direct debit, so I just basically want to archive that, or I want to cancel it, or just take away that they've even got a membership. Sometimes I find it very difficult to do it. On certain pages, it lets me do it. I go back to it again on the same type of page or the same area in GMS, and it won't give me the option. Then I have to go right around the houses into another section to be able to do it. Sometimes into finance, you have to go into there and it allows me to do more stuff. Or if I'm in membership, it allows me to do stuff and not do stuff. It'd be really handy if you could do all the same stuff in membership and finance, if you know what I mean.
Have the next time you have an example, if you could just mail our support, and Steve and Lauren have picked that up, and we can just have a look at that individual and make sure exactly the bits that are missing, whether there's anything being blocked because they're linked to the club in some other way, or whether it is just a case of a function missing route you're taking.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Sorry.
We just come to a question there now from Mark Jordan. Can you explain how the gift aid tag works in the finance section?
So when you create a member or a product, there's a drop down in there that allows you to add gift aid to that product. When someone purchases it, they then get the option to opt in or out gift aid if they want to pay it. They complete their transaction, and there is a gift aid menu item under finance that will list all the transactions that have been processed that contain gift aid.
Nice. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Just one on parents with 2 children on GMS, but only one is joining. How do you select the correct child? So maybe one is only one. One is, I'm not sure on that. That's from Steve Harknett. If you want to just expand on any of that.
Yeah, just a membership.
A child who's now left the club, an older child, so they've left. They're no longer involved in the club, but they've got a younger child, but they're still showing on GMS. If how is that? How we associate the right child with the right parent to show they're paid
Is that
for family membership? I'm thinking.
is that child related in GMS to the parent?
Yes.
So in terms of, the parents bought the membership for the child, yeah.
Well, we have a family member, yeah. So they would have, it would be a parent and one child, say, but to have 2 children on GMS, they played last year, but they're not going to play this year.
So so if you're running a family membership that's a parent with one child, so every membership you purchase in GMS is assigned to each individual. So you would be clicking on the child, purchasing the youth membership for that child or the playing membership for that child, and let's say you're then purchasing a social membership for the parent or both parents, and based on that combination of products, you've applied a maximum price for the family membership. So you sell it as a package.
Got a bit of a bad signal there from you there, Steve, but we're gonna move on, but hopefully that answers your question. Just a couple of, if you could just re-clarify, so a few questions coming in just around that, the fee, the 1.95% fee on payments for direct debit and card payments, and if you could just clarify some of that. I know some of you have gone back in the chat there, but it's common there, just around that, Steve.
Yeah, so the fee is 1.95% per transaction for DD and card payments. There is an additional fee of 10p for any card payments that are less than £10.
I think the question there is that that is the entirety of the fee. There's no underlying, you're not then paying a fee to pay for a stripe, let's say, on top. It's the entirety of that fee. So that fee encompasses the costs that are incurred dealing with the payment providers. So that for the card processing or the DD processing, it's not a fee on top of a card processing fee. It is the entire fee.
Excellent, thanks, Rory.
Sorry, and that's part of the reason why you've got that 10p levy, because at lower than 10, I think it is lower than 10. We wouldn't make we'd lose money on a 1.95% transaction. So because of the card fees underneath. So that's why that fee is levied.
Excellent. And just off the back of that, user currently uses Go go cardless, and that's week B. And she's just saying, are you saying that this is monthly? And just confirming the payment time frame to the club?
Yeah, there is. I understand that being a good question. We are settling every 2 weeks to clubs, so you'll get a full transaction. You get the full amount is settled to your club as a single transaction every 2 weeks, and that breaks down. You can see that breakdown in the settlements menu item in finance, and you can drill through to all those individual transactions. The reason for that is there's a cost incurred every time, obviously, we're settling. So the more frequently we're settling, it just ups the costs. So to keep the cost down, we have a 2-week settlement.
Nice one, Rory. Just having a look. Any more questions coming in? Anyone want to come off mic and ask a question?
If you don't mind, I'll ask again.
Yeah.
When we got from junior members, obviously they're linked to their parents. They have to be linked to their parents. As soon as they hit adult rugby at 18, it's a real kerfuffle trying to lose the parent out of the situation, to then add all the email addresses on, and also to lose the membership that they've always had with their parents, and to make it then an adult one. So obviously you have to cancel it, you have to archive it. A little bit similar to what I was saying earlier, that's sort of the scenario around it. It would be easier if there was some kind of button that you could hit that sort of just sent them on their own at 18, once they hit 18, so they don't need to be linked to the parent. And it would make the whole procedure around what you've got to do a little bit easier. That's a bit similar to what I was going to say, just to give you an idea.
So you've got 18-year-old kids that are paying for themselves, not relying on their parents.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they may not, and then I put them on a different membership, as in a special membership or a sort of like a further education membership type sort of thing we do. But I need to lose them from the parent, because obviously then they go on to the other part of the GMS where you have to get them effective rather than just be affiliated.
I can see that being a good shout. I think that's one to probably discuss with, for us to discuss with the RFU about what do we allow that to happen, and basically provide that button to just disconnect people from the family group. And we just have to look at just be careful about how that happens. So, but that's a good shout. I can see that being quite useful.
So thanks, Bill.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Vicky.
I was just asking, I just want to clarify, if a member has started paying direct debit, because it's not quite clarified, well, I didn't really get clarification. If they've started paying a direct debit and then they stop, how do we stop their membership? Because it always says that they're active and we can't cancel their membership. But if they've stopped paying, obviously they're not members anymore.
So is this a membership that's being paid in installments?
Yeah. So if they were on a direct debit scheme and they were being paid in installments, but then they've stopped their direct debit, how do we then cancel off their membership off of GMS?
So first of all, you'd have to go and look all their scheduled payments and cancel those off. Then you'd be able to go to the membership list grid and then update their membership from there. You should be update it to inactive or archived.
Yeah, it always says though, when we try and do that, it always says that because they've obviously paid within that scheme, if that makes sense, within that year, they've paid a certain amount of payments. They say that they're an active member and you can't cancel it off.
That doesn't sound right. So
no. Can you email that one to us at Club Payments and we can have a look at that individual case?
Yeah.
That is right. Vicky's right in saying that. Is if just say, for instance, you want to try, they've stopped paying because they cancelled direct debits, and you go in to clear the system, you might say pay by other means. You know what I mean? Just to clear the system out of the way, just to get rid of it. And as soon as you've cleared the system, it then makes them active again. So then you can't delete them, and then you can't delete them when they're suspended because they haven't paid, because it says they haven't paid, so they won't be able to delete them.
Right,
so you get stuck between the. a rock and a hard place there.
It sounds incorrect. So so either we've got a bug or there's some misunderstanding. So I think if get an example of that, and we can dig through it and just see what's going on.
Excellent, thank you. Any more questions from anyone that wants to come off mic? If not, have a think. I've got one final poll.
Yeah, could I just have a quick one?
Go on, Charlotte.
Yes, I'm very new to all of this, so this might sound really daft, but we've got lots of membership schemes and we've created titles, Family One, Social Membership, VP, blah, blah, blah. Is there a way of actually deleting a scheme that we have set up?
Yes, you can set the scheme to inactive under the inventory tile. So when you go in to edit a scheme, it has a status drop down. If you set that to inactive, then it won't show by default in that grid, and it won't show for anyone to buy.
Okay, so it's a title that we've created, and because we've got sort of lots of different titles now. So it's a title that we've created, and I don't want to see some of those anymore. So we can effectively delete it off and actually get rid of that title.
Yeah, I mean, it won't delete it, but it'll just put it to inactive, but it'll stop it from displaying by default in the grid, and no one will be able to buy it anymore.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry, I've just got a quick one. So when you say the monthly payments, is that defined in 12 months? Because our juniors pay over 10 months. I don't know, it was a previous membership secretary that agreed that, but is it defined those 12 months, or can I actually stipulate that it's a 10-month direct debit?
You can choose the amount of payments on the yearly schemes.
Okay.
So you can choose from 1 through to 12 payments, however many you want it to be paid in.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
No worries, Lisa. I'm going to pause there. We're just going to do one more poll. If you've got another question, we'll come back to you in a minute.
Okay.
We're just going to launch our final poll of the evening tonight. So just bear with me. And this is just around, if you're not already using the finance and membership part of GMS tonight, would you now consider using it at your club? So yes, no, you're not sure, you're already using it on this call, whack that in there. We'd just be interested to know this. Got a number of you coming in now. Brilliant. Keep those votes coming. I'll give it another few seconds. We're almost up to full there. And it's nice to see a good mixture of people on the call. I'm going to end that poll now. Last few seconds for anyone who's not voted to get that in.
Hello, yes, please.
And I'm just going to share the results now. So yeah, good to see a good mix of you there, already using it. Some of you are really considering this, so that's a positive there. Some of you are still a bit unsure, so maybe you might have a couple more questions you might want to ask now. And we've got a few more minutes of the session, so please do ask away. I'm going
to ask one general question.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
With listening to the answers that are coming through and looking at the chat at the same time, continually in the chat, you see, yes, we will send you this advice or this guide or something. And yet when we look on general help facility, or indeed on any of the help facilities that are available, we can't actually see or find those. Certainly the searches that we use never seem to bring up answers to our questions. There's something wrong somewhere.
We can take that feedback on from the membership point of view. You're talking about being able to find queries around membership on Community Rugby Help?
Well, it's a general comment, but it's mainly on the finance and membership side that I'm talking about. We've had lots of us asking about direct debit for monthly subscriptions, how we actually either cancel those and cancel the membership, or how we, in fact, if somebody's done it accidentally, pay off their failed direct debits and reinstate their membership. There's no detailed guidance that explains these situations.
Yeah, okay, we can I don't know if FSI, have you got any guidance to or plans to be able to put anything simply or anything available already around that? The common questions?
We do have a lot of guides in terms of queries and things like that. So yeah, we can take a look at and make sure that we've got everything that we have on there. But if there is anything, I've got a message typed out already, but for everyone with our contact details of where to send information. So if you do have anything that you need us to look at or get back to you on, please just let us know.
Following this webinar as well, I will put that that email that Dan's just mentioned just there for you to contact to all people that have registered for this. So you will have that in a follow-up. So yeah.
Could I just ask as well? I've just posted a message on the chat window. Is it possible to get a transcript of the chats so I can read them after the meeting? I'm finding it difficult to follow them all.
Yeah, happy to share that. If FSI are happy to share that as well. Yeah.
How would I, or how would you?
You'll be emailed it post session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it automatic for everybody or just?
I will send it to everyone that's registered, and it will probably be by the end of play tomorrow.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just I'd like to be able to read back through some of the messages and particularly the responses as well. So
no problem.
I think would be useful. Thanks.
Any more questions from anyone on anything tonight or anything around finance and membership?
I've got one more question.
Go for it.
Sometimes it's quite hard to explain exactly what you're trying to work out on an email when you actually have to keep going to the email box and someone comes back, they answer your question with another question. And I've sort of done that about 3 or 4 times when I've gone through to them. And I've even sort of re-looked at how I written the email. It just, would it not be easier if we could actually have, like, just say, for instance, for the county, somebody that's actually got a telephone number to the experts up there so we can actually speak to people, find out the answer, and then we can then spread the message. I get that you wouldn't want to have a conversation with however many people are doing it, but just for the counties. Just a suggestion.
Take that on board, Bill. It depends on what's being asked and how that's managed, but we've done a lot of work around community rugby help, appreciating that membership and finance questions are directly sourced to FSI. So yeah, it's a bit separate. So finance and memberships is FSI and their team who deal with those queries. So yeah, Dan, I don't know if you've got any more thoughts around that for yourself, but yeah, we'll take it on board. And
I was just going to add as well, obviously if it's finance membership related, then just email the club payments and one of us will be happy to give you a call to run through anything.
Nice one, thanks, Bill. One of the things we are implementing on our service desk for GMS in general is the ability for users who have got an issue to be able to record your screen, and then an agent will be able to record their screen and share that back to you. So ultimately, you're not getting asked multiple times for screenshots, etc., and it should be a bit of a quicker, smoother process. So hopefully, you'll see some improvements on that side in terms of service support as we move forward. Any final questions?
So there's obviously quite a lot of us in this chat asking for some guidance, like with the handout. I think it's Dan suggested some. Will that be sent to us as well?
Yeah, what we can do, Dan, Dan will pop it across to me, and I can send that out to all registrants if that's useful.
Yes, please. I think any information's better than none at all. That's fumbling along.
Yeah, no worries. any more questions? Anything?
Just following up on that previous comment, yes, please spam us. Send all the information you can and some, because for those of us who are new to this, as a number of us here are, every bit of information is going to be useful. I've learned a great deal tonight, so thank you for that. I'm going to pound the hell out of my committee with certain levels of expectations now that I've got some knowledge. So yeah, every bit of extra information will help with that process. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got plenty of guides around sort of membership, finance, EPOS, and websites, so we can send all those over. And if anyone wants to know many more about them, you can also contact the emails that we'll put in the chat here. So just let us know.
Great, thank you.
Brilliant, guys. Well, thank you so much for attending tonight. We will, as we've said, follow up and send some stuff out to you, including the webinar recording link for you, and you can share that on and utilize all that guidance and resource, and hopefully that will support you as you move forward towards next season. We're already at the end of this season almost, so good to see you all preparing and understanding this piece. Thanks so much for giving up your time. Really appreciate it. Thanks to all the guys at FSI for coming on and supporting tonight, and to make it a really worthwhile session for everyone. And we will see you soon on another GMS webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ian. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.